On September 9th of 2008, I was 30 weeks pregnant and went in for a routine ultrasound, and we discovered that our daughter was very critically ill. At that time, she had what was called pleural effusions. She had fluid surrounding her heart and lungs, and we did not know if she was going to survive. We were sent rushing to United Hospital for further evaluation, and couldn't really be told much more at that point, other than she was very critically sick. We were back a week later and learned that fluid had seeped throughout her body, specifically going into her neck and her scalp. And at that point, she was diagnosed with hydrops fetalis. Hydrops carries a mortality rate of up to 98%, which is obviously very critical. It was devastating to us. A week later, 7 days later, she was getting sicker, and at that point, doctors decided that it was better for her to be born. So on September 30th, 2008, Ellery was born. It was an incredibly emotional, stressful, exciting day. Going into this room where you don't know if your child is going to be born and pleading with NICU staff to try to save your baby's life, knowing the odds are completely against her.
Myself and the nurse that was kind of with us and helping us through this, we went in the other room, the operating room, where they were working on Ellery, and that was, I'm not sure how you can adequately describe that feeling, because I mean, you're completely helpless. You're on the outside looking in while you've got a team of nurses and doctors, calling on blood pressures and heart rates and intubating her, pulling fluid out of her, doing compressions. I mean, not knowing if I was watching them save my daughter or if I was watching my daughter die.
Miraculously, Ellery survived and made it through her birth, which nobody expected. Ellery went into the NICU, and her first 24 hours were the NICU roller coaster. She did pretty well the first few hours, and that night then she kind of didn't do so well. They found by checking her blood gases and kind of examining her that she was suffering from pulmonary hypertension or high blood pressure in the lungs. At that point, they rushed in a nitric oxide tank to put in through her ventilator to help her lungs, her lung pressure, come back down. After she'd been about a day old, staff came down and told us we needed to come back to the NICU. We were told Ellery had no reserves left, and we had to get to her right away. They didn't know how much time she had left. I think it was the rest of the day that we spent with her, taking some very somber photos, trying to make memories, not knowing how much time we had left with her. I wasn't able to hold Ellery because of the chest tubes and everything that was hooked up to her, and because of her critical state for 8 days. And then Greg didn't get to hold her until...
It was October 10th, I remember, 10/10.
10 days, yeah. It was a great day. Mm-hmm. And I think at that point, we didn't have any idea what lied ahead yet. Never anticipated 2 more additional pediatric ICU stays. But she was officially given a clean bill of health on February 12th of 2009. And that was a miraculous day.
Chances are when said and done, who'll be the lucky ones who make it all the way?
Well, doctors explained that nitric oxide is ultimately what saved Ellery's life. Had she not had that therapy at that point where she was in her little isolette, more or less ready to leave us, she would not have survived without that.
What we later found out is that the March of Dimes originally funded the research that allowed these 2 doctors to find out that nitric oxide was an effective therapy for pulmonary hypertension.
It's the funding that provides these therapies and the research that goes into them that people are able to benefit like us. I mean, they helped save our daughter's life, and the more that's given, just imagine the possibilities that what can be done. So today, Ellery is doing very well. For the most part, she's a very healthy, happy 2-year-old. Today is Ellery's birthday. There are some issues that we're still dealing with. Ellery has a gross motor delay, so she's not crawling or walking yet. We're getting there with the help of physical therapy. She also has a speech delay, so she's in some speech therapy. but for the most part, does pretty well.
But I mean, she's happy. Her and Wyatt laugh all the time. She's extremely stubborn. She's everything we wanted.
Don't get me wrong, I never say never, 'cause though love can't change the weather, no act of God could pull me away from you.
Thank you for coming tonight and supporting the March of Dimes. Your support is incredibly important to us as a family who has benefited from the research and development of life-saving therapies. We're very grateful that you joined us this evening, especially on Ellery's second birthday, so this day has very important meaning to us. Thank you.
Thanks everyone, and we hope you have a great night.
And all I need